Welcome to the Cutting Edge Health Preventing Cognitive Decline podcast. I'm Jane Rogers. Welcome back. Dr. Yoshi Rahm is our guest today. We're taking a deep dive into the use of extracorporeal blood oxygenation and ozonation, better known as EBOO, for boosting your immune system. Briefly, Dr. Rahm founded Oasis Family Medicine in Glendale, California, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. He's a board-certified osteopathic family physician.
What does ozone do, right? Why is it good for people? And it's really, I think of it as three main pillars that it does. It lowers unwanted inflammation in the body. Inflammation is not always a bad thing. When we get an acute infection, we actually want a little inflammatory burst to kill it off. If we get a little cut, we want a little local inflammation to make sure we don't get an infection. So inflammation is not always bad, but chronic unwanted inflammation is very bad and contributes to a lot of chronic disease states. So it lowers unwanted inflammation, and then it also balances out the immune system. And so if your immune system is not working well enough, it can really rev it up. And if it's overactive, if you're using the right dosages of ozone, it can actually lower it down. And so it's kind of, I think of it as Star Wars balancing the Force, really is what it does from both an inflammation standpoint and an immune system standpoint. And then I think of kind of the third pillar of what ozone does as increasing energy in the body at the cellular level. And most of energy in the body is really kind of the final product. The currency of energy in the body is ATP. And it's produced by the mitochondria, which are in many cells in the body. And when our body has enough energy, when it has enough ATP, it can heal itself so much better. There's a lot of different types of ozone therapy, and it goes from being very non-invasive. So people can do home rectal ozone or vaginal ozone. And then there's a couple of other modalities out there, but it's kind of like the biggest step up is this EBOO therapy. And it's a little bit more invasive because it's, it's usually two arms. So a vein coming out and the blood goes through this machine where it gets ozonated and oxygenated. And then it comes around and comes back into typically the other arm. And the beauty of this EBOO machine is that there's a filter. And so there's this huge surface area where ozone and oxygen can come in contact with lots of blood on a continuous basis. And we can do it at very gentle ozone concentrations of ozone so that the body really handles a massive amount of ozone, but handles it very well so that very few people actually get a Herxheimer's or a detoxification type of reaction.